Welcome in as the Montana iRacing League ready to take on the very beautiful Lernerville Speedway here in the Pro Late Models as these drivers are ready to go to battle here in this one as they take on one of iRacing's toughest racetracks here. These high banks in a very dangerous high side with all that high side momentum. The quickest way around the racetrack, but it is the most treacherous way as we'll see a ton of drivers here this evening unfortunately blow it off the high side banking and down the big hill here, possibly all the way down to the boats, down to the motorhomes, down on the back stretch here as see these drivers getting done their practice session. They're going to get loaded into the sim and ready to rock and roll here for our first heat race of the evening, as our first heat race of the evening about to get underway here in just a little bit as these drivers get loaded into the sim and ready to see who can pick up a win here in heat race number one. Is heat race number one going to get loaded in behind that official iRacing page truck? We get a good look at these drivers out there on the racetrack ready to rock and roll here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys know what to do if you're just tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that gosh heckin' follow button. Maria, fortunately, you're an absolute bot that just came into the chat and dropping links to some fake fucking TV thing. No one hit that link. No one hit that link. That link will be deleted. All right, so heat race number one rolling out onto the racetrack, ready to rock and roll here in this one as these drivers get loaded into the sim and are ready to rock and roll. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the Montana iRacing League back in action here this evening for another wild evening of battling here. Door-to-door fenders flaring, sparks flying, and a little bit of raging out there on the racetrack. We saw a lot of caution flags last night. Hopefully a turn of events and more good hard-nosed door-to-door racing here in this one with less caution flags. And starting on the pole in the 85 ride, that is Patches Be Fast. To his outside in the 43C machine, that is Casey Durant. And down on the inside, a row number 2 in the 2 ride, that is Braxton Tinker. And to his outside, the other 2 ride in the Pacers Signs and Designs, Redline Designs, and number 2 ride, that is PJ Popham. Starting in position number 5, that is Patrick Lemire, and to his outside, the Speed Ranch number 5H, that is Chris Hill in the 37 of Joey Price, rounding out the field as heat race number 1 underway quickly. And this one is, here comes Braxton Tinker shooting down the backside. Right down low, Braxton Tinker looking to jump up and take this lead away. He is going to take that spot as the Calamity back here deeper in the field. PJ Popham, unfortunately, pointed in the wrong direction. No caution flag as of yet for the 2 ride. As Braxton Tinker, the other 2 out there on the racetrack, out in front, nice and easy. Down at a corner number 3 and 4, we are going to see that caution flag fly as PJ Popham still parked there in corner number 4. So we'll take a look back and see what happened here as we saw a lot of contact, a lot of drivers unfortunately just getting a little squirrely out there as everyone trying to catch their legs underneath of them. And unfortunately here for PJ Popham, he gets in there a little too hard, gets right underneath the 85 ride of Patches Be Fast. Chris Hill in the 37 ride sliding right in there, not expecting for the 85 or the 2 machine to get checked up like they were. And unfortunately, Chris Hill going to get a good piece there of that 2 machine and spin him around. And that's where you see that 2 machine unfortunately get parked the wrong direction, sits there on the racetrack waiting to see if he could get that caution flag like he did without going a lap down. As we'll take a look here right on board of Chris Hill's ride as he's going to get a great picture of this one as he sees the 2 ride right here in front of him. You're going to see all this little beating and banging here in the 40, or the 85, and the 2 getting together, the 37 in there, and unfortunately, Chris Hill just nowhere to go there in that one, just trying to hang on to that number 5 ride as we get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one as Mama Bear coming in, showing the love. Mama Bear, Susie Dickinson with that heart reaction. Casey Durant with that heart reaction. My boy, Dude Guy coming in, showing the love, smashing that thumbs up in the stream. Luke Zampage coming in, smashing that share as well as we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Braxton Tinker gonna see that green flag fly in quickly, jump onto the loud pedal. Casey Durant trying to hang on to that 43 ride as they go 3 wide back here at a corner number 2. Patches Be Fast trying to hang on to that 85 ride is Casey Durant trying to get hooked up here on the high side as he battles door to door with the 86 of Patrick Lemire. Lemire gonna jump up into position number 2 here. Is now the 43C gonna slide back possibly another spot as here comes Joey Price. Price trying to work himself up into position number 3, and PJ Popham right there looking to take advantage of the struggling 43 ride. As fortunately for Casey Durant, he's dropping like a fly here in heat race number 1. Is out in front, showing a very, very fast car early on in this one. It's that 2 ride of Braxton Tinker. Tinker out in front has a 1.2 second lead now between himself and Patrick Lemire, as Lemire trying to hang on to second himself here, as here comes Joey Price and PJ Popham, both trying to poke their nose into that battle there for position number 2. With some contact up into the outside wall goes the 86. The caution flag is going to fly here. It's unfortunately just some good hard racing, and unfortunately I don't think Patches Be Fast or Patrick Lemire realized that 37 ride of Joey Price was there to his outside, as Patrick right down through the middle here, going to try to wash up to the outside wall. The 37 with a big run unfortunately just gets out there, and I don't think the 86 was expecting that, and the BBI machine up into the outside fence. Some pretty hard contact there with that outside wall. Good heads-up move there by Casey Durant and PJ Popham. Here comes Patches Be Fast, just narrowly avoiding him, and Chris Hill just barely avoiding that 86 ride, as well as he was backing back up onto the racetrack, as we will get them lined up and ready to go back to green flag racing. You see the 86 of Patrick Lemire rolling back out onto the racetrack. The 37 ride of Joey Price also getting an EOL for being collected in that caution flag. So out in front, it's a pair of 2s. It's Deuces Wild here in heat race number 1, as Braxton Tinker and PJ Popham 1 and 2 here in heat race number 1. Casey Durant there in position number 3 with Patches Be Fast there in 4th. Chris Hill in the 5H ride there in position number 5. And then you see Patrick Lemire and Joey Price bringing up the rear of the field. We'll get them ready to go here once again as Dylan Steven coming in, showing the love. Jeremy Sorensen coming in, dropping that like on the stream as well. How are you, Dylan? How are you, Jeremy? As you guys coming in, showing the love here in this one as the lights are turned off, the official iRacing base truck, and we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. Cody Blix coming in, showing the love as well. How are you, Cody? Cody coming in, dropping that thumbs up as well on the stream. How are you, my dude? As we are going back to green flag racing, the pair of 2s out in front. Going to see the green flag fly as a good restart there for Braxton Tinker, but PJ Popham sticking right there with them. The Tinker ride down on the bottom side of the racetrack, unfortunately blinking a little bit there, as Tinker has a little bit of a blinker going on right now, but here comes the 2 machine of PJ Popham door to door down into corner number 1. PJ Popham looking to jump up and take this race lead away, as he's looking for that high side momentum, this time down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. The 2 of Braxton Tinker, not with a good run there, as the 2 ride of PJ Popham is going to jump out in front and take this lead as the white flag was being displayed. So down into corner number 3 for the final time here in heat race number 1. Out of corner number 4, it's PJ Popham picking up heat race win number 1 on the evening. Braxton Tinker there in second. Casey Durant, Chris Hill, Patches Be Fast, Joey Price, and Patrick Lemire rounding out the field here in this one, as we got them stacked up, racked up, and are ready to go here for heat race number 2. Heat race number 2 going to get loaded into the sim here as these drivers get loaded in behind the official iRacing pace truck. We're going to get ready to rock and roll. Your laps to go isn't working out. Unfortunately, it has a mind of its own. iRacing live timing, for some reason, heat races, it does not like to work. I don't understand why it doesn't, but it's something that they haven't been able to figure out yet. And I'm no good at coding on the back end to be able to fix it myself, so I'll leave it to the professionals and hope that someday they can have an update where it'll actually work pretty good for actual heat races and everything else. And unfortunately, right now, it just, I mean, I can refresh it, and all it'll do is it'll pop up and it'll refresh basically like the lap, and then it'll just freeze itself again, and that's pretty much the way it goes. Sometimes it works for a hot minute, sometimes it'll just frees itself instantly as we get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. Starting on the pole in the 1H ride is the JR1 machine of Vernon Hill. To his outside in the Pacer Signs and Designs number 32, that is Pacer Popham, and down on the inside, a row number 2 in the 54 ride is the Tri-City Speed machine, that is Joseph Brooks. To his outside in the 3D Racing Norwood Sim Sports, House of Speed number 77 is the West Side Signs in Designs number 77 of Warren Samoy. Starting in position number 5 is the 29 of Jeremy Sorensen, and to his outside in the 185 is the Lemire Racing Ride, that is Jeremy Lemire. They're in position number 6 as we are quickly back to green flag racing here from Lernerville Speedway as Vernon Hill out in front looking to run away with this one, but here comes Joseph Brooks. Brooks looking to have another great run here in these pro late models as he tries to reel in the 1H ride, trying to get right to his back bumper is the 5.6 graphics. JR1 number 1 ride trying to stay out in front, but a little bit of a battle down into corner number 3. We might see the slide jump here in 3 and 4. He's just barely gonna jump up and clear that one ride. So we get a new race leader as Joseph Brooks to the point, but Vernon Hill not done, but there goes Hill. Off the banking, Vernon Hill off the banking here on the backstretch. He's able to jump back onto the racetrack, so a good piece of driving right there, being able to save that car as you see the 29 ride. Jeremy Sorensen get up into the outside fence right there into corner number 1. As Joseph Brooks out in front in the Tri-City Speed machine, he's going to continue to lead the way as Vernon Hill going to try to hunt him down out in front of this field as right now, that 54 ride looking to try to pick up yet again another heat race win and possibly another checkered flag here in the series as we saw him pick up a win yesterday. We saw him pick up a few wins last weekend, and he's looking to pick up another one here this evening. As Joseph Brooks out in front, Vernon Hill right there in position number 2, Warren Samoy there in that 3rd spot with Jeremy Sorensen, Pacer Popham, and Zane Lemire rounding up the field as Lemire down and off the racetrack here as well. He's way down here trying to crawl himself back up this hill. You get a good look at it right there. He's waiting for all the drivers to go by, but the caution flag will come out here for Zane Lemire. So we will take a look and see what happened as this is unfortunately why this is one of the toughest racetracks. You send it in there a little bit too high. You just barely miss that berm and get a little tight. Boom. Right rear goes over the banking. Down the hill he goes. Luckily enough getting onto the brakes quick enough, but unfortunately comes down and into the grass here. And this is where things get very, very difficult. Trying to wheel yourself back up through that slick grass. And a good job not coming back onto the racetrack there and taking out a bunch of his fellow competitors as we will stack them up. Get ready to go back to green flag racing as out in front. Joseph Brooks did not want to see that caution flag as he continues to lead the way. Clifford Bellamy, my boy Clifford, coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream. How are you, Clifford? Clifford coming in, smashing that thumbs up on the broadcast here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow button. If you're watching over on YouTube and you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button, become a part of the PeaceMaker family, become part of the PeaceMaker crew here today in this one. As we get them ready to rock and roll here yet again, Joseph Brooks out in front, sees the lights turned off, the official iRacing pace truck, and he's going to get ready to set us back loose. It's the Tri-City Speed Machine out in front. Single file restarts here in this one as Joseph Brooks nice and easy down through corner number 3 and out at corner number 4. He's going to see that green flag fly here once again as we go back to green flag racing here from the beautiful Lernerville Speedway. Brooks looking to try to run away with it as Vernon Hill trying to hunt him down. Hill right there in position number 2 looking for a big run down the bottom side through corner number 3 and 4, but that high side momentum paying dividends here for that 54 ride as Joseph Brooks absolutely starting to open up a big lead here as Warren Samoy now trying to track down the 1H ride, trying to work himself a little bit closer to the front of the field as top 2 drivers will advance into the Casey's. Cash for cash later on this evening, but the white flag has been displayed, so not too much time left here for Warren Samoy to make a move. Is down through quarter number 3, and at a quarter number 4, it's Joseph Brooks picking up heat race win number 2 on the evening, and Warren Samoy gonna jump up to the outside lane and take that second spot away from Vernon Hill. So Warren Samoy up into position number 2. What a run and what a drive right there for that 77 ride. But it's all Joseph Brooks as Anthony James coming in with that like on the stream. My boy Kevin Batterin coming in, showing the love with the thumbs up as well. Coming in, showing the love here in this one with the reactions. I appreciate you guys coming in, showing the love as we will get them lined up and ready to go here once again back behind the official iRacing pace truck. As you see our outside of the front row, it is the 33 ride of Luke Zampich there on the outside of the front row. But starting on the pole in the 57 machine, that is Maurice Meyer. To his outside, that is the 33 ride of Luke Zampich. Starting in position number 3 in the 62 ride, that is Dylan Stevenson. Into his outside in the 24M, that is Ian Myers. Starting in position number 5 in the 9 ride, that is Corey Wormling. Into his outside in the 307, that is Merlin Sorensen. So a few very, very black race cars out there on the racetrack, going to make my job that much more difficult trying to decipher which one is which. Is from this far of an angle, it starts to get a little tougher and a little tougher, but nonetheless, we're going to get them lined up and ready to go here for heat race number 3. My boy Steve Colvada coming in, showing the love. How are you, Steve? Steve coming in, dropping the thumbs up on the stream. Michael Goon coming in, showing the love as well, dropping that thumbs up as we get them ready to rock and roll. Heat race number 3 gonna get fired off here in quarter number 3 and 4 is quickly Maurice Meyer onto the loud pedal, looking to run away here with heat race number 3. Dylan Stevenson, Luke Zampich, door to door as they beat and bang down the back straightaway. Here comes the number 9. He's gonna shove his nose right into that battle as they go 3 wide here off corner number 4. Out in front, Maurice Meyer loves to see the beating and banging and the contact back there behind him as they continue to duke it out for that second spot. He's able to try to open up a little bit of a lead here as now the 33 of Luke Zampich running away from that battle back there as well, and he's trying to hunt down our race leader as Zampich trying to reel that inside lane here and trying to catch up to the back bumper of our race leader Ian Myers right there in position number 3, but he's gonna slip up the racetrack a little bit. And here comes the swarm as I don't know how they didn't crash right there. I don't know how they didn't go around. There you go, the 24 ride around over the banking there, down the back straightaway here. A tough break right there as he's going to get right down to the catch fence. Unfortunately, no caution flag. He's going to take it right off the racetrack. A heartbreaker there for Ian Myers in the 24 ride as he goes for an absolute crazy ride down over the banking there in quarter number 3. As Maurice Meyer continuing to lead the way. Luke Zampich right there with him, not letting him run away with this one as our top 2 have a big gap between themselves and our 3rd place driver, the 62 ride of Dylan Stevenson there in position number 3 as Merlin Sorensen right there behind him in the 307, and Corey Wormling there in position number 5. Unfortunately, Ian Myers back behind the wall here, getting some work done to his car before this A-main feature event, as his crew's going to have a lot of work trying to get that car back out onto the racetrack here as we get a good battle here at the front of the field. Door to door, down into quarter number 3, the 33 of Luke Zampich looking for a run to jump up here and possibly take this lead away from Maurice Meyer. As Meyer trying to change up his lines here, trying to find a little bit of extra speed. So isn't the 33 of Luke Zampich, as you got to run it where they're not. And right now he's trying some different things, some different entries and exits on the racetrack. But unfortunately, he may be running out of time as the white flag has been displayed. So one more time around here for Maurice Meyer as Meyer down the back straightaway into quarter number 3. Nice and easy at a quarter number 4. He's going to pick up heat race win number 3 on the evening with Luke Zampich right there on his back bumper. Merlin Sorensen there in 3rd, Corey Wormling there in 4th, and Dylan Stevenson going to come home there in position number 5 as Myers back there behind the pit wall. as these drivers will get stacked up and racked up, ready to go here. I do believe our Dash for Cash, our Casey's Dash for Cash, I do believe that is still happening here this evening, as we see these drivers, our top two from each heat race, will jump out onto the racetrack, and we will see them duke it out here for a little bit of extra money, brought to you by Casey Durand and Casey's Dash for Cash, as these drivers will get lined up where they're supposed to be and ready to rock and roll here or the Cash Dash. Brian Wax, my boy Brian, coming in showing the love here with the like on the stream. River Burke coming in showing the love as well with the like on the stream as well. Casey Duran says, dollar signs, baby, dollar signs. That's what we always like to see. We always like to see the dollar signs, and we always like to see some more money going towards the pockets of all of these drivers, as we'll get them racked up, stacked up, and ready to go here. The 57 ride going to start here on the pole. That's Maurice Meyer. To his outside is PJ Popham. Then you see the 54 right there. That is, sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now, Joseph Brooks there in the 54 ride. To his outside in the 33, that is Luke Zampich. And then we see the 77 ride of Warren Samoy and Braxton Tinker bringing up the rear of the field here, as Tinker blinking a little bit still out there on the racetrack. Unfortunately for him, that's going to prove very difficult throughout this feature event, as drivers are going to have a hard time knowing where he is out there on the racetrack, as we'll get him ready to rock and roll here. 6 laps the racing distance here for the Casey's Dash Cash here at Lernerville Speedway. As quickly the 57 rider Maurice Meyer onto the loud pedal, looking to run away with this one, looking to put a little bit of extra coin into his purse here in this one, as Maurice Meyer nice and easy down through quarter number 3, and at a quarter number 4 he's going to lead lap number 1, but here comes PJ Popham. Popham right there in the 33 ride of Luke Zampich, looking to try to jump up here and into that battle, as well as we saw Zampich all over the back bumper of that 57 ride just moments ago in heat race number 3. Unfortunately, Zampich right there getting up into the outside wall, is lap number 2 going to be led here by Maurice Meyer, as Meyer down into quarter number 3 nice and easy as he comes out at quarter number 4. We're going to see 3 laps down and 3 more laps left to go here for this Casey's Cash Dash here this evening. Is out in front. It's all Maurice Meyer, PJ Popham, 1 and 2. Then you see Joseph Brooks trying to jump up into position number 3 here as he tries to battle underneath the 33 ride of Luke Zampich, as we see a battle almost door to door there through 1 and 2, but a good run on the high side for the 57 ride, as Maurice Meyer going to click off another lap here. The 57 out in front, but the 2 ride going to try to get wound up way up there on the high side, looking for a big run down the back straightaway, trying to catch up to the back bumper of this 57. He's going to set it deep into quarter number 3, and at a quarter number 4 right there on his back bumper is the 57 ride and the 2 machine having a great battle here in this one. Here comes Luke Zampich right there into that battle, as well as PJ Popham. One last chance as Zampich off the racetrack there, door to door though, down across the start-finish line. It is the 57 rider Maurice Meyer picking up the win here in the Casey's Cash Dash with the Montana iRacing League Pro Late Models. PJ Popham there in second. Joseph Brooks coming home in third, as unfortunately for Luke Zampich, sitting in a good spot right there, unfortunately went off the racetrack, as these drivers will get stacked up and out there onto the racetrack here for a quick warm-up session. The rest of the field is able to join the pack here, as you already see the 37 right at Joey Price, Patrick Lemire out there on the racetrack as well. Here comes Merlin Sorensen in the 307. Dylan Stevenson jumping out there as quickly as possible, as these drivers going to use this extra time here for some extra warm-up on their rides, making sure that they got their setups absolutely perfect, making sure that they feel very comfortable in these cars, and seeing what this track has done, where it's changed, where they need to run, and what they need to do to find as much speed as they can to get the best results on the evening here in just a little bit. Justin Ward coming in, showing the love with the heart reaction. Alan Peters coming in with the like on the stream as well. How are you, Alan? How are you, Justin? Hopefully you guys are doing well here this evening, as we'll get them out there onto the racetrack here for a quick warm-up session. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll be right back here in just a few more moments as we'll get ready for our A-Main feature event here in just a little bit, as our A-Main is about to come up, and we'll get ready to set them loose here for 40 laps of racing action here in these Pro Late models. Side Crew, this is cool and all, but I can't wait until February 8th to send some trucks around Wilkesboro with Bulletproof Motorsports Series. Yeah, that is going to be a ton of fun, Highside. That is going to be a great time, man. We're looking forward to seeing the Bulletproof Motorsports Crew back out there on the racetrack, rocking and rolling and beating and banging in the NASCAR trucks for their series, and it's going to be a lot of fun. 4 races on the short tracks of the asphalt and 4 races on the pavement is going to be a very, very good time, and we are looking forward to that one for certain, for certain. That's going to be a lot of fun. Gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go, as we're going to get these drivers loaded into the sim and are ready to try and pick up a win, as we are going to get ready here for our main feature event in just a few more moments. Practice coming to a close here, our warm-up session coming to an end. That means our main feature event is about to get underway. So these drivers going to get loaded into the sim and ready to win here in this one, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome in as we get ready to set the Montana iRacing League Pro Late Models loose here around the very, very tough Lernerville Speedway, as they've worked this track in heat races, dash for cash, and some great warm-up session there for these drivers to really see what they need to do, see where they need to be out there on the racetrack to try to work themselves into victory lane. As you get a good look here at the Lernerville victory lane right here, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and are ready to go. Is it Richard or Dickard? It's Dickard for certain. It's always Dickard. You always want to, it's always Dickard for certain. Too much Richard talk up in the chat, guys. Come on now. Too much Richards up in the chat here. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. Our main feature event is about to be set loose, as these drivers gonna get ready to roll out onto the racetrack. And starting on the pole, in the number 2 ride, it's the Pacer Signs and Designs Flawless Auto Body number 2 ride. That is PJ Popham into his outside. In the Tri-City Speed Machine, that is the 54 of Joseph Brooks. Starting in position number 3 in the 77 ride, it is the 3D Racing Machine of Warren Samoy. To his outside in the 2 ride, that is the All-Star Concrete ride of Bracton Tinker. Starting in position number 5 in the 43C, that is Casey Durand into his outside. In the 33 ride, that is Luke Zampage. Starting in position number 7 in the 307, that is Merlin Sorensen into his outside of the JR1. Number 1H, that is Vernon Hill. Starting in position number 9 in the number 9 ride, actually it is the 62 ride? No, it is the 29 ride of Jeremy Sorensen, starting there in the 9th position to his outside. In the Speed Ranch, Cocky Floyd Consulting, Dirty South Speed Shop, number 5H, that is Chris Hill. Then we see Patches, Be Fast, Dylan Stevenson, Pacer, Popham, Corey Wormling, Joey Price, Zane Lemire, Ian Myers, Patrick Lemire, and Maurice Meyer, unfortunately missing the start here of this one as we get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. Richard Bailey says, I feel targeted. You probably do feel targeted. Do not read the chat beyond what you came in. Like, do not read the chat anymore. You don't want to read the chat anymore there, Richard. As we are green flag racing quickly, leading lap number 1 is PJ Popham. Popham out in front, looking very stout here early on in our opening laps here at Lernerville Speedway. You can see him right there playing with fire there on the high side as that 2 ride hooked up here on the outside groove in 3 and 4. Nice and easy down through the middle, the bottom side there in 1 and 2. Joseph Brooks right there in tow, trying to follow right in his tire tracks. Warren Samoy right there in position number 3. Samoy looking to have another good run here as Braxton Tinker having a great drive right there in position number 4 and looking for more as here comes Luke Zampich with a big run here to the outside of the 2 ride. Unfortunately, just misses the outside groove there ever so slightly, dips off the racetrack. That's going to scrub a lot of speed off for him as we are going to see our first caution flag of the evening. First caution flag is going to fly here as Ian Myers in the M24 ride here, going to go off the racetrack. Let's see if we can play this back just a little bit here for him, as it just looks like he gets super tight, washes up the racetrack. Unfortunately, just dips over the end here, trying to stay on, and goes back onto the racetrack, and fortunately just enough there of him coming on and off. And then right here you see some more contact now up into the outside fence, and that situation going even worse there for the number 24 M ride as tore up race car right there for Ian Myers. We'll see if we can get another look at it here in this one as we will take another shot right here and see if we can get a good look here as he's down the back straight away here off the bank and he's back out onto the racetrack. It's a good run here. Unfortunately, just gets tight again, washes up over the nose of the 185 ride, also getting up into the wall there and getting a good piece of him there was Zane Lemire. So a tough break for both those drivers as we will rack them up, stack them up, and get ready to go back to green flag racing. No cautions tonight, he says. No cautions tonight. Yeah, Dick doesn't deserve this beating. Yeah, Dick definitely doesn't deserve this beating. He gets shit on way too much. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Come on, Warren, says Anthony Karth. Anthony coming in, showing the love as well with the like on the stream. Cody Horton coming in, dropping that heart reaction as well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like, hit that share, hit that follow, and subscribe button as we get them stacked up, racked up, and back to green flag racing. Here in this one is PJ Popham quickly back onto the loud pedal, looking to try to run away with this one. It's the 2 ride of Braxton Tinker, almost going around there in corner 1 and 2. A good heads-up move there as Luke Zampich almost got into the side of him, almost took him out as they are 3-4 wide, battling here throughout the rear of the field. Out in front, PJ Popham looking to try to run away with this one as PJ looking very strong as Joseph Brooks holding on to position number 2. Warren Samoy right there in position number 3. Vernon Hill showed a lot of speed earlier on in the evening, as well as the 1H rides found himself away up into position number 4 and looking for more. Casey Duran there in position number 5 as they're going to go 3 wide right here into quarter number 3 and 4 is the 307 ride, and Braxton Tinker right there duking it out as Tinker going to get washed up the racetrack here a little bit. Hopefully no contact back there behind him as he's getting pushed around here, trying to hang on to that 2 ride as right there you see Joey Price trying to work himself through the field. Here comes Patrick Lemire in the 86 ride as well, already up 6 positions, trying to work himself up inside the top 10 as he sees a lot of drivers right here in front of him having to check up for that 2 ride. Once again, it's Braxton Tinker still trying to get a handle, and oh, Chris Hill's going to go around. Chris Hill goes around. The caution flag is going to fly as we get a parking lot down here in 3 and 4. Pacer, Pompam collected in that one. Corey Wormling and Zane Lemire all tied up there in that one as our second caution flag here of this A main feature event is going to fly as Chris Hill having some help going around here as the 5H ride sitting pretty just on the outside of a top 5 looking in here. Going to have himself a good evening in these pro late models. Unfortunately, looks like the 62 just going to get in there a little bit too deep. Going to get right into his back bumper. And unfortunately, going to spin that 5H ride around. There you see everyone else trying to get checked up to avoid him. Here comes the 86 ride with a good shot right there as he tail tags him. And everyone else sliding in here as well. Joey Price with some damage. The 9 ride with some pretty heavy damage. There goes the 185 ride of Lemire spinning around. The 32 ride is going to spin around here as well as all these drivers trying to avoid the contact there with the spun out 5H ride of Chris Hill as he heads down pit side to get some work done to his car as we'll get him ready to rock and roll here yet again as PJ Popham continuing to lead the way. Popham out in front. As Cody Blick says, I'm sure we'll see Dick in the sprint cars. We might see Dick in the sprint cars. That's for certain. Aspen Russell says, poor Richard. Yeah, poor Richard. Fortunately, Richard's just getting tore up here in this one. Just getting tore up in this one, unfortunately. Aspen Russell coming in with that heart reaction. Landon Imhoff coming in, dropping that like on the stream as well. I appreciate you, Landon. I appreciate you, Aspen, coming in, showing the love with those reactions as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one as out in front it is still the 2 rider PJ Popham as Popham's led every lap so far, but he's got a lot of very fast drivers right there behind him. We see Chris Hill getting a wave around quickly, trying to get him back onto the lead lap as we'll get an extended caution flag here, and we'll have to wait one more time around before we go back to green flag racing. It's PJ Popham, Joseph Brooks, Vernon Hill, Warren Samoy round out our top 4 at the front of the field with Casey Durand, Luke Zampich, Merlin Sorensen, Braxton Tinker, the 29 ride of Jeremy Sorensen and Joey Price rounding out our top 10 as we get them stacked up, racked up, and are ready to go back to battle here in this one. PJ Popham looking for another big restart here, looking to try to run away with this one as he gets a great launch down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4 as he's trying to leave this field back there behind him and in his dust. As the flawless auto body Pacer Signs and Designs, Redline Designs, and number 2 ride out in front, continuing to lead the way. Here comes that 54 of Joseph Brooks hooked up on the high side, and Vernon Hill doing a great job down low here in the JR1 machine, working himself up into position number 3 here as Warren Samoy trying to hang on to it as Vernon Hill goes over the banking there. Luckily enough, gets back onto the racetrack. Doesn't take anyone out, but here comes Luke Zampich. Zampich now up into position number 3 in the 33. They're 3 wide right there behind him. 77 getting a little contact there with Vernon Hill as Vernon Hill kind of getting a little squirrely there down the back straightaway, trying to catch and get the handle of that 1 ride as he looks back down to the inside of the 77. But we are going to see the caution flag come back out here in this one. Looks like Chris Hill having some issues here again in the 5H ride as him and Zane Lemire bouncing off each other right there, and unfortunately it's just going to send the 5H off the racetrack there in corner number 3 and 4. He's going to try to rejoin the field here, and unfortunately right there being on the racetrack, right on the racing surface still, and takes that car down pit side. A tough break right there for Chris Hill. As we'll play it back here just a little bit and see the contact as the 185 comes up the racetrack. Chris Hill already up there on the outside. Unfortunately, Zane comes up, kind of just tail tags him, gets into the side of the 5 ride and just kind of straightens him out right there. And as they make contact, the 185 pushes up the racetrack, pushes the 5H off the racetrack as he goes a little parasailing there off the corner 3 and 4 banking, and luckily enough doesn't go for a crazy flip down into the catch fence there, and everyone is A-okay and able to keep on rocking and rolling. As PJ Popham out in front has Joseph Brooks right there behind him as the lights are off the official iRacing pace truck. That means we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing as Cody Blick says one hookup joint. Woo! Tommy Bush, my boy Tommy coming in, showing the love with the heart reaction as well. How are you, Tommy? Tommy coming in, showing the love here in this one is PJ Popham, Joseph Brooks, Luke Zampich, Vernon Hill, and Warren Samoy getting ready to go back to green flag racing here as quickly the do-ride onto the loud pedal, looking to run away here with this one as PJ Popham trying to open up a bit of a gap here over Joseph Brooks. Brooks getting a decent restart right there. Really sticking right there with that two-ride of PJ Popham. Going to try to put some pressure on him. Back there in position number 3, Luke Zampich trying to hang on to that third spot as here comes the one ride of Vernon Hill trying to take another look down low on the 33 machine. As PJ Popham out in front just playing with fire here as he see that left rear or right rear tire just barely hanging over the edge here, right on the edge of going over the banking or being able to hang on to it. We'll get a good look at it right here as the right rear of the number 2 ride right on the edge of things here. I'm sure we'll get a great look at how close he is to the edge, but this time through 3 and 1 and 2, he's going to go down low. Up here in 3 and 4, he's got this thing hooked up right on the high side, and as I do it, he's going to go down to the bottom side. Looks like we are going to get a caution flag here again, so all that for nothing, but either way, you get a good look there at the banking of this racetrack as we will take a look back and see what brings out caution flag number 3. So it looks like Pacer Popham having some issues here. Dylan Stevenson getting collected as well as Pacer in that blue and orange number 32 ride, the 62, the green and black right there on the high side. Looks like the 62 just going to get into the back end of the 32 and a crazy flip right there for that 32 ride of Pacer Popham. Is unfortunately for Pacer going for a ride here. 62 just getting in there a little bit deep, jacking him up, lifting that rear end up, and unfortunately spinning him around up into corner number 3 here, and unfortunately nowhere for him to go. The 62 goes flying off the end of the racetrack as well as 32 ride. Going to go for a wild flip right here. Oh, that is a tough break right there for that 32. We'll see if we can get another look at it here for Pacer Popham as this 32 ride just trying to battle underneath the 62 and getting a good run there at a corner number 2 and able to try to clear that outside. Unfortunately, here comes that 62 just going to get into him and heavy hit right there. And unfortunately, turtled there in corner number 3 and 4, so he's going to have to tow that car back down pit side as we'll stack him up. Get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Cautions equal drinks. Does not disappoint. Does not disappoint, Aspen. That is 100% correct. If you drink every single time these drivers tear something up or cause a caution flag out there on the racetrack, take a shot, have a drink, and see how messed up you can get before the end of the night, as we got a lot of racing action left here ahead of us as we are back to green flag racing here in this one. 23 laps left to go here as the two-ride of PJ Popham has been the reflection of perfection, continuing to lead the way here in this one. Joseph Brooks there in position number 2, and Luke Zampich right there in 3rd. Vernon Hill and Warren Samoy rounding out our top 5. Merlin Sorensen, Joey Price, Casey Duran, Jeremy Sorensen, and Patrick Lemire rounding out our top 10 as Braxton Tinker trying to take a look down low on the 86 ride, trying to work himself back inside the top 10 here in the 102 machine. As out in front, PJ Popham continuing to lead the way, but we are going to see another caution flag fly. The caution flag coming back out here again. Looks like Pacer Popham coming back out onto the racetrack is going to bring this caution flag out as you see the 32 ride trying to roll out here onto the track, and fortunately that is enough for them to, he also spins it around right here in front of our race leaders. Yep, that will definitely pull the caution flag out right there, and see our flag man getting a great look at that one, pulling the trigger there on that yellow flag as Pacer trying to rejoin the field here. He launches it over the banking back onto the racetrack and just loses the handle of that car, and unfortunately spins her around right here at the flag stand. And here comes our race leaders. All of them trying to get down low in a quick hurry to avoid that spun around number 32 ride as the caution flag going to come back in. So we will get them lined back up and ready to go back at it here in just a few more moments. Jack, give a congrats to Aspen Russell and Cody Blix for the engagement. Cheers to you guys. Yo, Cody, my boy, Cody Blix, Aspen Russell coming in with the engagement. That's It's beautiful. That's beautiful. I appreciate you guys let me know. Richard, I appreciate you letting me know that. And huge congratulations to Aspen and Cody on tying the knot here with their engagement. That's absolutely amazing. That's absolutely amazing. As we will go back to green flag racing here. Almost halfway in and halfway to go this next time by, as we're going to see 21 laps up onto the board here to go. And that means we're about halfway in and halfway to go, and that's a perfect time here for a Peacemaker Gaming. Crank it up. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers. We crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Come back out here in a quick hurry. We will take a look at it, as I do believe the 37 ride getting collected in this one, as unfortunately Jeremy Sorensen and you will leave that 37 ride to make some contact here. 29 ride gonna see that 37 gonna rejoin the field right here. Unfortunately just gonna get into him, and unfortunately goes around there and times on the racetrack. The caution flag is going to fly as all starts with the 37 of Joey Price here. As Price just unfortunately gets up over the banking here, goes off the racetrack for a hot second, rejoins the field, and as he rejoins the field, comes down the track and unfortunately right into that right rear quarter panel of the 29 ride, and he spins that 29 machine around. So caution flag going to come back out here during our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up, as we're going to ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few moments. PJ Popham continuing to lead the way here in this one. PJ out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done, as he's been the reflection of perfection here all evening long, keeping that 2 machine at the front of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you think PJ has enough left in the tank to keep these drivers at bay for the rest of this feature event? Or you see somebody like Joseph Brooks, Luke Zampich, Warren Samoy, or anybody else in the field able to jump up and take that top spot away from the 2-rider, PJ Popham? Can Popham stay perfect up there on the extreme high side here around the berm of the beautiful Lernerville Speedway without making a mistake and going over the banking to open up a hole here for that 54 ride to try to work himself around him, as we're going to find out as we are back to green flag racing here with 17 more laps left to go. A great restart right there for the 2-rider, PJ Popham, with the 54 machine sticking right there with them. And Joseph Brooks trying to stay right there, keeping the pressure on the back bumper of that 2-ride of PJ Popham. And Brooks taking a look down low here, can't get the run he needed off the corner. As see that high side, just absolutely a rocket ship out of the 2 machine of Pacer Popham, or PJ Popham, as he was able to pull away a few car lengths down the straightaway there and stay out in front of that 54. Luke Zampich right there in position number 3, looking for a big run here himself, trying to work himself into position number 2, as he's not done yet, but he's going to go over the banking. Just over the banking there, ever so slightly rejoins the field here. No caution flag. A good move right there, but we are going to see the caution flag afterwards. As, oh no, that was Joseph Brooks. Berlin Sorensen, Joseph Brooks off the racetrack here in corner number 1 and 2. We'll take a look here at the 307 ride as he gets collected in this one. Right there, gets into the third wall, then into the 37 ride, goes up and off the racetrack there in quarter number 1 and 2. And then I think he's trying to back this car up onto the racetrack here. And I think somehow or another it catches Joseph Brooks right here. Brooks just nowhere to go. Oh, that is a tough break right there for Joseph Brooks. As Brooks just absolutely nowhere to go here in that 54 ride. Up there on the high side of the racetrack, having himself a great run. Sends it in here, trying to catch up. And here you go, the 307 trying to rejoin the field. Unfortunately, comes out right as our leaders are going by. And unfortunately, the 54 going to tail tag him there. And a big piece of him go up and over the banking and around here himself. And some pretty heavy damage to that 54 ride. Is nothing that Joe Brooks could have done right there except for just hang on and enjoy the ride and hope for the best outcome of not tearing the car up completely. So get a good look at it here from the cockpit of this number 54 ride. There you go. You just see the car coming out on the racetrack. He tries to shoot her down the track there. Unfortunately, not quick enough as he angles the car down the racetrack. The rear end just kind of kicks out and unfortunately tags that number 307 ride and spins him around. So we'll stack him up, rack him up, and get ready to go back to green flag racing as PJ Popham out in front now has Warren Samoy and Verdon Hill right there behind him. And then they're in position number 4 and looking for more. That is Patrick Lemire up 15 positions here in this feature event. So Lemire working himself up through the field here into position number 4, and Luke Zampage they're in position number 5 as we are back to green flag racing. Green flag quickly back out into the air here for PJ Popham as Popham looking to try to run away with it, but here comes that 77 Warren Samoy taking a good look down low here, trying to find a way up and around our race leader. Warren Samoy looking to try to pick up another checkered flag here in the Montana iRacing League. But a good run there on the extreme high side. PJ Popham going to stay out in front, continuing to lead the way here as he's been the reflection of perfection here all evening long. He's led every single lap up to this point as next time down across the start finish line we're going to see the double high five here from our flagman as we're going to see 10 more laps left to go, this time by the start finish line. So 30 laps in and 10 more laps left to go. PJ Popham looking to try to pick up the checkered flag, trying to park this ride up in victory lane. As PJ out in front looking very, very stout here in this one. Warren Samoy right there in position number 2, and Verdon Hill there in position number 3. Patrick Lemire there in position number 4 with Luke Zampage there in 5th. Joey Price there in position number 6. Jeremy Sorensen, Casey Duran, Braxton Tinker, and Patches P. Fast rounding out our top 10. Zane Lemire back there in position number 11 with Joseph Brooks back out on the racetrack there in 12th. Corey Wortley there in position number 13. Then we see Merlin Sorensen, Maurice Meyer, Pacer Popham, Dylan Stevenson, Chris Hill, and Ian Myers bringing up the rear of the field here. Is out in front by 1.3, almost 1.4 seconds now as a big run down the back straightaway for the 2 ride. But we're going to see the caution flag fly. Caution flag going to come back out here again in this one as it looks like Merlin Sorensen again off the racetrack here. Fortunately for Merlin, just off the track, trying to rejoin the field after going off the banking there in 1 and 2 here. We'll take another look at what happened here to the 307 machine as this is down through corner number 3 and 4 and then down into corner number 1. He sends it in there and just trying to avoid some contact there in front of him. Unfortunately, just was over the banking there and down into the grass trying to get that car pointed back in the right direction. But we also saw Luke Zampage in this 33 machine having some issues here as well, as Zampage in position number 5 at this point has Joey Price right there on his back bumper. Looks like Price might have gave him a little bit of a love tap right there into that right rear quarter panel and just unfortunately spins him around and brings out that caution flag. Let's see if we can get a good look here on the tail of this number 37 ride. Contact. Just a little bit of contact right there, and unfortunately enough to spin that car around as see Patches P. Fast get a piece of him there as he's trying to get himself turned back around and pointed back in the right direction. As the last thing PJ Popham wanted to see was that caution flag, as that's going to bring everybody else right back to his rear bumper here. So he had a pretty good lead on the rest of the field and looking to try to run away with it. Unfortunately, that lead is evaporated as Warren Samoy right back to his rear bumper, as we're going to go back to green flag racing here from Lernerville Speedway. Warren Samoy with a good restart there in position number 2, trying to take a beat down low, trying to find something in some way to jump up and get around PJ Popham. But Popham, oh so good all evening long, rolling that outside groove just to absolute perfection down through 1 and 2 and down in corner 3 and 4. This 2-ride is hooked up here on that high side. Warren Samoy trying to hang right there with him, unfortunately trying to run a little bit lower than what that 2 machine is, trying to play it a little bit more safe, hanging on to position number 2, but unfortunately he's starting to lose ground here once again to that 2 machine. Out in front, PJ Popham continuing to show us how to get it done here in this one. As down through corner number 3 and out at corner number 4, he's going to see 3 more laps left to go. Vernon Hill right there in position number 3 on the racetrack is Patrick Lemire there in position number 4. Jeremy Sorensen there in 5th with Casey Duran there in 6th. Brandon Tinker, Patches B. Fast, St. Lemire, and Joseph Brooks rounding out our top 10 as we see the double flag sticks up in the air here. Twin sticks for the 2-ride of PJ Popham as Popham down into corner number 3, right up against that outside Berman out at corner number 4. He's going to see the white flag fly one more time around here for PJ Popham to pick up the win at the beautiful Lernerville Speedway here in the Montana iRacing League. Is down through corner number 3 and at a corner number 4 for the final time. It's PJ Popham picking up the checkered flag here in this one. The reflection of perfection as he leads all 40 laps and parks the 2 machine up here in the Lernerville Speedway victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a round of applause alike on the stream, alike on the video here for that 2-ride of PJ Popham as he gets it done and parks it up here in victory lane. Warren Samoy there in 2nd, and Vernon Hill coming home there in position number 3. What a run, what a drive, and what a race. All I gotta say is this was a shit show, unfortunately, Dylan. Unfortunately, sometimes they go like that, sometimes they go like that. Nothing you can do, unfortunately. Just it happens. It happens. Nothing I can do, at least up here in the broadcast booth. I wish I could make it no caution flags. I would just have no cautions the whole time and just let everyone run what they can run and let her all go, I guess. But that's why I'm up here in the booth, not one of the admins making calls out there on the racetrack. I don't make them calls. That's for certain. That's for dang certain. As we're going to get ready, we're going to jump up into the Discord here with our top 3 for some post-race interviews. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our race winner, PJ Popham, already up here, so we're going to pull our race winner in for his post-race interview. Hey, PJ, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. Take a copy.
I got you, Aaron.
PJ, man, what a run, what a race, as you were the reflection of perfection this evening in this one, as you were able to keep that 2-ride out in front and never really look back, even with a handful of caution flags here throughout this race. You had a lot of very good, talented drivers back there behind you, but you were able to hold them all off here, lap after lap, restart after restart, continuing to hit that high side groove to absolute perfection, and being able to park that number 2 ride up here in the Lernerville Speedway victory lane. It's got to feel pretty dang good.
Yeah, finally, man. We've had some rough luck this year, so we're finally able to bring one home here. It feels good.
Absolutely. It's always a good feeling being able to finally finish one out and being able to pick up the checkered flag. As we saw you leading a lot of laps here throughout these first few weeks of the series and showing some very good speed, very strong car. Unfortunately, things just haven't worked out the way you wanted to. But now, tonight, you're able to get it done. Finally park that 2-ride up here in victory lane. You feel like you got that monkey off your back. You're able to kind of unleash the beast here in the next couple weeks and maybe see if you can keep this momentum rolling.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Hopefully. It's been, we've had the speed, like you said. Just, some self-inflicted wounds. Some guys running out of talent around us. So, we'll just press forward. It helps when you're starting up front in these things. You don't have to come through the field. So, taking off P1, it's everybody else's problem to try to get past me. So.
Absolutely, and you're able to hit those restarts perfectly, keeping these drivers on their tippy toes down there for 3 and 4 as you hit those restarts, opening up a couple good gaps there. But a couple times we saw, Warren Samoy, or we saw the 54 rider Joseph Brooks kind of get decent restarts right there with you. Keep the pressure on your back bumper there for a little while as they were able to hang with you for about 3 or 4 laps, and seemed like they kind of faded away as you were rolling that high side lane. No one else really going up there. They were running the high side lane, but they weren't running it like you were, as you were sending it in there very, very deep up on the high side, right on the edge of existence there, on the edge of the berm, lap after lap after lap, down through 3 and 4, and even down at 1 and 2 here in this race. How close were you to going over the banking there a couple times in this race?
I scared myself a couple times, but in order to be fast and not catch that berm and go over, you've got to be right up on it. Sometimes you try to slide up to it and you end up jumping it, and then it's tough to keep it from going all the way over once you jump it. So you just get right up on it and let it roll you around the top of the track.
Absolutely. Well, you're able to roll it here perfectly this evening as you pick up the checkered flag and perk that 2 ride up here in victory lane. PJ, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
I got to thank all my sponsors: Pacer Sign and Design, Upfront Bodies, DM Race Engines, Falls Casino. Got to thank my dad, real life and in iRacing. He helps me a lot. My teammates, Tommy Bush and Joseph Brooks, my teammate. He was back there in second, kind of helping me out too. Once I was pulling away and stuff, kind of running some different lines and helping me out. So thank my fiance Katie, and you for putting on the broadcast, and Warren for putting on this league. It's pretty cool to come out and race with all the Montana guys, just enough to build up all the animosity before we go racing in the summer. So
absolutely, always a good thing, and always nice to see fellow competitors in real life here in the simulator as well, and getting a little bit of extra time beating and banging with them, at least this time out there on the racetrack and iRacing. If you get into them, you take them out, you drive them into the wall or something like that, at least you don't have to go over and get a punch in the mouth, or have to go over and apologize for tearing stuff up and having to thrash throughout the week to try to get the car ready for the next weekend, or paying a lot of money to get a new car or get a car clipped, or just making any of those weekly repairs out there on the racetrack. So it's a lot more fun when you're able to beat and bang and battle here with the local guys and get that out of the way here throughout the winter time. And then when it comes to real life racing, getting back into the swing of things and trying to be as cautious as possible out there on the racetrack, but also as fast as possible out there as well.
absolutely, it's kind of a detriment as much as it is fun. You don't have to fix nothing, but some guys drive over their head when they don't have to fix nothing, and it leads to some issues. So but we'll get her figured out. Some good racing, hopefully we'll see and talk to you again here in the 305s.
Absolutely, PJ. We look forward to seeing you back out there on the racetrack and possibly right back up here in victory lane or up in the broadcast booth. PJ, good luck out there on the racetrack, and we hope you have yourself a good time and maybe another good run.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our race winner, PJ Popham, as Popham picking up the checkered flag here in our first race of the evening as he picks up the win here in these pro late models, as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, the 77 rider, Warren Samoy. Samoy coming home here in position number 2. A great run and a great drive for that 77 rider as we'll get him pulled in to the broadcast booth. Hey, Warren, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Yeah, I forgot. Up 2, all right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gonna talk to you again.
You're going to talk to me again, man. Another great run, another great race, and here you go. Late in this one, able to find yourself up in position number 2. You're able to hang everyone else back there at bay and being able to pick up a solid second place run here with a very fast 2 ride there in front of you. As PJ was absolutely hooked up here this evening, but you were right there in that second spot, giving him a show, giving him a run for his money here all evening long.
Yeah, just waiting for him to mistake, but that guy doesn't usually make too many mistakes. So, congrats to him. I know he's been struggling with some other issues. He should have won a lot more races, but yeah, I figured he'd be pretty tough starting up there on the pole. So, Just biding my time, taking care of my stuff, staying out of trouble, and yeah, we'll take the second. That's a good night for us. And yeah, it was a good show. I mean, again, too many cautions. We're gonna get there one of these races. Good showing to know. We had 19 cars. That's good to see.
Absolutely. Always good to see the drivers tuning in and jumping in here, looking to have some fun out there on the racetrack. And fortunately, some caution flags, but nonetheless, some great racing action, especially there at the front of the field as we saw you guys all duke it out and continue to run some very, very fast lap times throughout this race. Hooked up there on the high side of the racetrack. Unfortunately, you just didn't look like you had quite enough there late in this one to be able to run down that two-rider PJ Popham to try to make a move there on him without him making that mistake. What did you need out there on the racetrack, Warren, to be able to get that extra bit of get up and go to be able to try to beat that two-ride here this evening?
Yeah, probably just some more laps on that setup. I just got it right before the race, and so I was chasing the gear throughout the heat and the warm up and the dash, and I just wasn't comfortable. It started to feel a little bit better there in the end, but yeah, I didn't really have anything for PJ. So we'll pack her up and see what we can do in the 305s and go again.
Absolutely, Warren. We look forward to seeing you back up through on the racetrack here in the next one. But who would you like to shout out here in case we don't see you back up here in the broadcast booth before the end of the night? Who would you like to thank here for such a great run and strong performance here in this one?
Well, it's been a little while. I better shout out to my wife Stacy for letting me get away with this every weekend for the last 3 weeks and the next 7 weeks. So yeah, shout out to her. She knows how much I enjoy racing. So thanks a lot, honey.
Absolutely, always a good thing to shout her out and try to give yourself a little bit of extra, cookies there in the cookie jar just to make sure that she's a little bit happier about all the time you spend on the simulator. As I know you put in a lot of work behind the scenes here, making sure that everything runs smoothly here throughout every Friday and Saturday evening, and making sure that all these drivers are here and dealing with all the different things that happen on the racetrack throughout the week, and trying to reply to everybody with all their messages and everything else is it's a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's always something different too. I guess that's why we like it.
Exactly. Warren, congratulations on a solid second place run. Hopefully we see you back up here in the broadcast booth before the end of the evening and possibly one spot better and up here in victory lane yourself.
You bet. Thank you to Peacemaker and really enjoy the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and see you here in a little bit.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, Warren Samoy. Samoy coming home there in position number 2 is unfortunately our third place finisher here. That number 1 H-Ride of Vernon Hill, not here in the Discord, as Vernon coming home here in position number 3, having himself a great run here in these pro late models, picking up 5 spots, being able to work himself into a solid podium run. And then we see right there behind him, it is that number 86 rider, Patrick Lemire, picking up 15 positions on the racetrack, started back in the 19th spot here. Is able to work himself up into position number 4, picking up 15 spots. The hard charger here in this race. What a run and what a drive there for Patrick Lemire. And a good run there by Vernon Hill coming home in position number 3. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's going to do it here for us in this race. But we're going to go back live here in just a little bit as we're going to get ready for our second broadcast of the evening, as our second race is about to get underway here in just a little bit, as the 305 sprint cars are going to roll out onto the racetrack. We're going to get ready for our second broadcast of the evening. So if you guys haven't already here in this one, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow or subscribe button. Make sure you have those bell notifications turned on all the channels. That way you guys never miss it when we go live here on PeaceMaker Gaming, as we're going to go back live here in probably about 10 minutes from now. We'll be back live with our second broadcast of the evening, with our second race of the night. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we look forward to seeing you back here in the next one. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.